The silence after episode 9 still lingered like a haunting echo. Sophie had drawn a line, standing firm against Mark's manipulations. His chilling words, "You'll regret this, Sophie, a promise," rang in her mind every night, turning her sleep into a battlefield of nightmares. Now, episode 10 begins. Sophie sat at her kitchen table, staring at the wilted flowers Mark had left on her doorstep earlier that morning. A once meaningful gesture, now twisted with menace. Her hands trembled as she touched the petals, her heart heavy with sorrow. This wasn't love, it was war disguised as romance. She whispered to herself, "How did we get here? How did the man I loved turn into this stranger?" Meanwhile, Mark was spiraling. His pride was shattered, his image destroyed, but his obsession with Sophie burned brighter than ever. He told himself it wasn't about love anymore, it was about control. He couldn't stand the thought of her walking away with her dignity intact. One evening, Sophie found an envelope slipped under her door. Her heart pounded as she picked it up, her name scrawled across the front in Mark's handwriting. Inside were photographs not of her, but of her with her friend Lily, laughing together at a cafe. On the back of each photo, a chilling message was written. "I'm always watching." Her breath hitched. Fear crawled up her spine. He wasn't just angry, he was dangerous. Terrified, Sophie rushed to Lily's house, clutching the photos in her trembling hands. As she explained everything, tears streamed down her face. "He's not letting go, Lily. I thought exposing him would end this, but it only made him darker. He wants to break me." Lily hugged her tightly. "Sophie, listen to me. You're stronger than him. He thrives on fear. But you have truth and courage. We'll get through this together." But Sophie's fear only grew. That night, she couldn't sleep. Every creak of the house, every shadow outside her window felt like Mark's presence. She clutched her phone, ready to call the police, yet part of her still hoped he would stop. Part of her still mourned the man she had once loved. Mark, on the other hand, was unraveling. Sitting in his dark apartment, surrounded by empty bottles, he stared at a photo of him and Sophie in happier times. His hand shook as he traced her face. "You were supposed to be mine forever," he muttered. "If I can't have you, no one will." The next morning, Sophie decided to take back control. She gathered every piece of evidence she had, texts, photos, even recordings, and placed them in a folder. She wasn't just protecting herself anymore. She was preparing for war. At the same time, Mark was plotting his next move. He knew Sophie was strong, but he also knew her heart was fragile. Wanted to strike where it hurt most. That afternoon, Sophie received another message. It wasn't photos this time. It was a video. In it, Mark stood outside her workplace, his voice low and menacing. "This isn't over, Sophie. I told you you'll regret crossing me. You can try to hide behind your friends, behind your lies, but I will always find you." Sophie's hands shook as she replayed the video. Tears blurred her vision, but deep inside, something shifted. For weeks she had cried, broken under the weight of betrayal. But now she felt fire rising in her chest. She whispered to herself, "You think you're in control, Mark, but this ends now." That evening, Sophie met with Lily again. Together, they planned their next steps, contacting the authorities, securing protection, and ensuring Sophie wasn't alone. But Sophie knew that more than legal battles, this was a test of strength. She wasn't just fighting for her safety, she was fighting for her freedom, her dignity, her soul. The episode closes with Sophie standing at her window, staring into the night. Her tears were gone. In their place was a quiet determination. The battle between love and hate had transformed into a war of survival. Her voice, steady and resolute, broke the silence. "You took my trust. You broke my heart. But you will never take my strength." And somewhere in the shadows, Mark watched from a distance, his obsession deepening. His whisper echoed like a threat carried by the wind. "We'll see, Sophie. We'll see." If episode 10 gripped your heart and left you on edge, smash that like button, share this video with someone who loves emotional suspense, and drop your thoughts in the comments. What would you do if you were Sophie? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because episode 11 will unleash a twist you want to see coming.